No AI was used in the making of this video. Welcome to the Queen Bee Hunter Guide. Starting with the external trait, the swarm, which is the hunter's main ability, there are 3 states of the swarm of insects: the Dormant State, Predatory State, and the Synergy State. Dormant State. This is when the swarm is not being controlled by the queen bee. Nothing happens to survivors that touch or interact with the swarm during the dormant state. So when queen bee is not controlling the swarm, survivors can touch the swarm without it affecting them in any way or affecting the hunter in any way. As you can see, the swarm is not being controlled by the hunter because it's staying still, and the survivors walking through the swarm and nothing happens. Dormant state. Next is the predatory state, when queen bee is controlling the swarm and then the swarm touches the survivors. Queen bee gets 10 energy recharge for her ability. Queen bee also gets assimilation effect, which increases her movement speed by 12% for 2 seconds. The same survivor has a 1.4 second cooldown before they're being affected by the swarm again. This is the only way the queen bee can charge up her energy to utilize her other abilities, so it's different from other hunters because it doesn't recharge through time, the lapse of time. So when the hunter is not controlling the swarm, and now the hunter is going to start controlling the swarm, you can see he tries to dust off the bugs, and that's how you can tell that the hunter's energy is now being recharged, and then she also gets that little mini speed boost as well. Dormant state, nothing happens, hunter's controlling the swarm again, and then you can see in this picture, you can see the hunter is controlling the swarm and it keeps interacting with the survivor, and her energy is being recharged. And the last external trait for the swarm of insects is the synergy state. This ability unlocks at first presence, and queen bee can merge with the swarm. When the queen bee is merged with the swarm, queen bee's vaulting speed is increased by 10%. When queen bee wants to merge with the swarm, she will go towards where the swarm is. And then you can tell that she's merged with the swarm because the butterflies are beneath her and kind of keeping her afloat. It's not as obvious in the default skin, but you can see the little specks of dust, the little specks of insects that are surrounding her feet area. And that's how you know she's in her synergy state. Hunter's ability at 0 presence, we have the Hive Pathing. This is when queen bee controls the swarm. Predatory state we learned before, so if survivors touch the swarm during this predatory state, the hunter can recharge her energy. Travel speed is 15 meters per second, the max range is 28 meters, and there's no cooldown. When the hunter continuously utilizes this ability, it does have a certain time limit, but she can just click on the ability again and just continue on because there's no cooldown, which is understandable because that's the only way the hunter can charge her energy. So when the hunter wants to charge her energy, she's just going to move the swarm around the survivors. The hunter can always see where the swarm is, but she can't see the area around it. So if there's a survivor nearby behind this wall, which there is, hunter won't be able to see them, but as she's moving the swarm of insects around, you can see the energy is charging up, so that does notify the hunter that there is a survivor there. And this is 28 meters, so that's as far as the swarm can get when the hunter's controlling it. Once the hunter places a swarm, she leaves, she recalls the swarm. The swarm is going to start off where she left it and then come over to the hunter. So it might take a while. You'll want to keep the swarm close if you're going to use it to recharge. Unless you want to keep the swarm on one of the cipher machines so you can teleport back to it, then you would leave it behind on purpose. But we're going to talk about the teleport later, so don't worry about it right now. The next 0 presence hunter ability is Stinger. Queen bee can shoot with the condensed swarm, and that's going to be a chip damage, so 0.5%. It costs 35 energy each time she uses Stinger. There is no cooldown on this ability. Queen bee's max energy is 100 energy, so that means she can shoot 2 stingers but needs to recharge the energy to shoot the 3rd stinger. Why is this important? That means if you're a normal survivor, that will go down with 2 normal hits. That means you have to dodge at least one stinger, assuming that the hunter can use 2 stingers, seeing that that is the max, which means you have to avoid 1 stinger. That way you will only be able to get the damage of 75%. If the hunter utilizes 2 stingers and a normal hit, that's 100% damage, so then you'll be able to go down immediately and you won't be able to get that rescue. So remember, for Queen Bee, you have to dodge the stingers. If the hunter starts recharging, that's when you quickly rescue, because then she's not able to hit you. Hunter is at 100% energy. She utilizes the 2 stingers and is left with 30, so she needs to recharge if she wants to get another stinger. So she's just going to recharge here by utilizing the swarm to recharge the energy, and then she can get the 3rd stinger. The range of the stinger is the same as the Foggy Blade or the Spider Spit, where it just keeps going until it hits an obstacle. But the further away the survivors are, it's very hard to aim. This is another example of it much further away. It's going to take a while, but it will definitely hit the survivor. And that one misses. At first presence, Hunter gets Reciprocate, and this is when Hunter merges with her swarm and she gets that synergy state. Queen Bee can then teleport to her swarm's location. It uses 15 energy, and after she teleports to her swarm, she'll be merged with her swarms, so she'll be in her synergy state so that she'll have that 10% vaulting speed while she's merged. The cooldown for this ability is 18 seconds. So she's going to be placing the swarm anywhere on the map, and then she's going to go utilize her Reciprocate, and you can see now she's in her synergy state. She throws the swarm out again, and then she's going to utilize Reciprocate, where she merges and teleports to her swarm. She can go to the complete opposite side of the map, which we're going to be doing right now, and then she's going to utilize her ability to merge or to teleport, and she can go across the entire map. It does take a little more time than when you use a teleport ability. And at first presence, Hunter gets Reflective Sting, which is the stinger, but it's just an upgraded version. At the end of Reciprocation, when she's teleporting and merging, Queen Bee can instantly use Stinger, and it will only cost 25 energy to fire with no delay. But that's only if she teleports and uses Stinger right away. If Queen Bee waits a little while after teleporting and goes into her synergy state, the Stinger will delay and use 35 energy as normal. A normal Stinger, there's a little bit of delay, so the survivors might be able to dodge it and react, but when she goes into her teleport and comes out immediately, uses Stinger, it shoots out right away. This is the normal one. And then she goes into her Reciprocate, teleports, and the Stinger shoots immediately. So it's going to be very hard for survivors to dodge it, unless they have to actually predict it in order to dodge it. At full presence, Hunter gets the Hive cluster, which is actually just the advanced or the upgrade from Reciprocate. When Queen Bee teleports or merges with the swarm, but she's at full presence, she becomes part of the Hive cluster, which is just a larger swarm of insects. The cluster moves at 12 meters per second, so it's much faster than when the hunter is controlling the swarm on their own, which is 15 meters per second. When the hunter is within the hive cluster form, energy will continuously drain 7.5 energy per second. The cooldown for this ability is 18 seconds. So before the hunter would teleport and merge with the swarm, she would just be in her synergy state, but she doesn't have any extra abilities. After full presence, when the hunter goes into hive cluster form, then she has faster movement speed, which you'll see later, and it also uses up energy every time she stays in that form. She can change back to her human form either manually by clicking on the ability or by using the stinger, or when the energy runs out. Hunter can use the advanced stinger anytime when she is in the hive cluster state for 25 energy, and the stinger, again, it's going to be the advanced stinger, so there's not going to be a delay. When the hunter teleports at first present, she has to use the advanced stinger right away. When the hunter teleports after full presence and she's in the Hive cluster state, she can use the stinger at any time and it would be the advanced stinger. So when the hunter teleports to her swarm at full presence, she's just going to become part of a larger swarm that moves much faster but also drains her energy faster. It's going to be very obvious, so you're not going to be confused at all. This is what it looks like as a normal stinger when the hunter is in her human form. And when she's coming out of her cluster form and she uses the stinger, it's going to be the advanced stinger. It's going to look something like this. And here are some different angles. You can see how quickly the stinger emerges without having that delayed, so it's going to be very hard for survivors to react to it. They have to predict it in order to dodge it. And that is it for all the skill explanations. Now we're going to be looking at some gameplay. It is going to be from Spectate the Pros SCA server, Season 43. This was the 4th Queen Bee when I started recording. She's going to be going for the first survivor Vanny, Antiquarian. Oh, it's actually in English. And she's going to be charging up the energy utilizing the bees. Antiquarian is going to utilize her flute so that she can get a little bit of a faster movement speed. Looks like she's going to avoid the... Oh, she's trying to get... Oh, she got the chip damage. So she was trying to mind game at the window. Gets a normal hit onto the Antiquarian. Now she needs to recharge her energy because she doesn't have enough. Okay, 40. Now she has its chip damage ready, but she's just going to be charging more because she doesn't have enough distance to get that chip damage in. So as the queen bee goes after the survivor, she always has to have the swarm of insects. Okay, nice corner, not corner, nice narrow area. The Antiquarian. It's been a while commentating. She's gonna continue going to these narrow areas, and that's how she's gonna continuously stun the queen bee. She was able to get the stun once again, and also avoid that stinger. But another stinger come here. Oh, she flywheels. Oh, good mind games. And as you can see, the bee can just go right through the windows as well. Now the Antiquarian doesn't have any sticks left, so she'll most likely be going down here. So she's kind of expecting to go down. She's trying to hide behind the pillar, or is it a tree? We'll be finally able to down this Antiquarian, but that's already a 3 cipher kite. We can't see second cipher machines popped. Is the escapologist going to utilize the turret? What was that thing called? Smoke screen? No, not smoke screen. Hunter's just going to be teleporting closer to the airplanist, expecting him to come in for this rescue. Can't see what else the other survivors are doing, but is able to get the chip damage onto the airplanist. Gonna keep recharging her energy while going back towards the chair. We're gonna have the escapologist coming in for the rescue. Okay, escapologist is going to utilize misdirection, tank a hit, so he's still at full health, and the hunter is going to be able to still get a hit onto the Antiquarian. Antiquarian is going to go towards graveyard, constantly utilizing the bees. You have to utilize the bees every single time because she also gets that speed boost when the bees interact with the survivors. She gets a, what was it? Was it 12% speed boost for 2 seconds? We'll be able to chair her here for the second time. We have wanted order on the prisoner. She's going to leave the bees near the Antiquarian so she can teleport, but it looks like they're going to relocate the Antiquarian, so the hunter is going to be recalling the bees. I think she recalled it towards the chair. The smoke screen up, hunter's not going to be able to see. Oh, I didn't see what was that an abnormal? I wasn't paying attention. Okay, we'll be going right back onto the Antiquarian, and as soon as she gets out of her teleportation, she's gonna immediately get that stinger on, so immediately chip damage onto the Antiquarian. Not quite at full presence, so she doesn't have the hive cluster yet. But oh, okay, nice dodge, but we'll be able to take a hit here as doesn't have enough distance, so she can't really make that window wall. We'll be able to chair the Antiquarian, sending the first survivor back to the manor. They're pushing that last cipher machine at middle, and then they have an extra cipher machine that's further away from her, so they want to finish this middle cipher machine first. We got one in order on the escapologist, and the hunter is going for the escapologist, because he did have one in order. What cipher machine is primed? Endgame situation. No more items left on this escapologist. A little bit of lagging there for me. Okay, misses the stinger, so no chip damage. So she's trying to down the survivor with the chip damage because she knows the cipher machines are primed. And it doesn't look like he's doing a very good job hiding behind the pallet, and she's trying to find the area in between so that she can, so you can see she's continuously just, I mean, they're not going to pop the cipher machine, then she's just going to keep trying to get some chip damage onto the escapologist and keep just recharging chip damage, and it's not working. So someone's going to have to make the next move, but the hunter does kind of have the upper hand here, as long as they don't. But that also means the survivors can set up and head towards the exit gates, and then the dungeon is here, so the survivors do have to make a move because the hunter does have the upper hand. She's against 100% energy. Gonna get more energy as he's just baiting out the hit. Is able to get half. So now, from now on, she needs to down the survivor with chip damage, so there's no attack recovery, but they're just gonna pop because it's just taking too long. And he's at half health. Hunter is going for the escapologist. It looks like he does know where the dungeon is. They are opening up one of the exit gates that are further away. Hunter's gonna utilize her Hive cluster. So she got her and immediately down this escapologist, but the exit gate is open. Hunter utilized her trump card and changed it to abnormal, so she can't really teleport to that exit gate, so that's a 2-man escape for the side of the survivors. And here is her build. I forgot to show it in the beginning. The 5th queen bee in the rankings so far, we're on Moon River Park. Hunter's survivor's gonna go immediately on to the roller coaster. Second stop isn't pressed, so he's going to be getting off at this area. Hunter's trying to mind game him here, but he goes the other way. Hunter, does not see him going down the opposite way. He's going to head towards the walls. This area has also gotten a buff on the map for survivors. It'll be a nerf for the hunters. So has a little more areas to work with. But he is going to be running into one of the survivors, going to utilize his first illusion. Hunter's going to be taking the hit. So far, no damage. 2 illusions left. Hunter might be able to get chip damage. Ooh! It looks like she actually got chip damage before. I didn't notice. But immediately downing him. I would say pretty good down. I don't think it was the best route. But, you know, it can't be helped. It's a new area. You know, survivors still need to get used to it. Hunter's going to be now sending the the swarm towards the Gravekeeper. He's going to go straight into his shovel, but then we can have, it looks like he's trying to get the hunter's attention. They're getting a backdoor rescue. Hunter's going to be able to, I think she hit him outside of his shovel, so now one of his shovels are gone, but they were able to get that free backdoor rescue, but no tide turner. So if she can get this hit down immediately, we'll able to utilize his illusion. The fact that he put his illusion right next to the stairs makes the hunter think that he was possibly going in for the will we get to hit on top of the stairs here. So that was pretty good mind games there. Still has one more illusion left to utilize. We're gonna have the flywheel coming in from the prospector. Doesn't get the chip damage either, so he's actually she did get that chip damage, so that means he's still going to be able to harass because he's still only 25% damage. We'll be able to get the magnet. Hunter's going to be able to drop him down just in time, so he's not able to release the magician. Magician's just trying to buy more time. Crawling back up the stairs, is able to get a mini stun here, but it's going to be an immediate hit, and we'll be able to down the magician. Prospector was trying to get that body block, but wasn't able to get it. He just used 2 magnets, so he has 1 magnet left, but the hunter looks like she's trying to look for a little bit more, and made the Gravekeeper utilize his shovel for a little bit. And they don't want to over harass because they still need to go in for this rescue, and they still need the last cipher machine. Second chair for the magician. I would say they bought quite a lot of time though, so it looks like the hit onto the Gravekeeper, that's going to force him for a little earlier rescue. does avoid the chip damage. Gonna utilize his last illusion. Hunter sees a blood trail, so he knows he's going the other way. Towards the pallets, we got the prospectors, and last magnet coming in here is able to get a mini stun, but the stun's very small, so that's barely gonna give him much time. Try to body block for him, but gets the hit onto the magician. Through all that body block, and no, okay, we got one magnet just got recharged, but it's not worth it because prospector's at half health. So if he does, Hunter's going to be teleporting to her swarm. Now she has Hive cluster because she's at full presence. Will be pushing the Gravekeeper away. He's also at half health. Prospector's at half health. Prospector's also at half health. Yeah, the issue here is they don't have a last Cipher Machine because they were trying to buy more time by harassing, but I don't think it bought them enough time. But it's not looking too bad. I guess it's kind of looking bad because 2 survivors are at half health. Now the Hunter's going to be able to get the lawyer hit as well. So now all 3 survivors are very vulnerable, and Hunter has warp, and ooh, we got the chip damage there too. Wow, how did she get that? Recharging her energy. He's going to be utilizing his map so he has faster movement speed, and immediately right there you saw when she went out of, she teleported and got the immediate stinger. We'll be able to share the lore here for the first time nearby the last Cipher Machine, so they are starting a Cipher Machine at the opposite side of the map. Hunter's going to be changing to teleport and going for this prospector. Got one more magnet left to utilize, but he is at 75% damage. Yeah, so what Queen Bee seems to be doing very well is when she gets those... What did I say? Okay, got the wonderful flywheel and a stun. Now transitioning out, sidesteps the stinger and loses the mind games here at this pallet, but they do get that rescue. We have one Cipher Machine at 64 on that side of the map, one Cipher Machine at 76 on the Prospector side of the map. We'll be able to chair this Prospector for the first time, but the issue here is they're both injured. This is a wide map, so they have to be very careful, but they do have borrowed time, so it's not over. But the thing is, if the Hunter hits you too far away from that chair, you're not going to be able to get that rescue. That's the problem right now, and I think that's what the Queen Bee did very well in making sure that all of the survivors were injured. She does have tinnitus, so she does know that there's a survivor coming in for this rescue. Doesn't quite seem to know where he's coming from. Finally does notice the, what is that? Gravekeeper. Okay, Cipher Machine's popped. Now he's back up. Oh, but he body blocked, so she was able to recover fast enough and was able to down the Gravekeeper. He was able to get the rescue fast enough. We'll be able to chair this Gravekeeper, and the teleport will be back up in 12 seconds. He's not going to be able to open it in time. 7 seconds. 50%, 60%, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. She's going to teleport. And that's going to be a 4-man elimination. Trying to get some... Okay, we'll just downy him with the normal attack. So this time it does look like I remembered to show the spawn points. Pretty standard here. 2 on one side of the map, 2 on the other side. This is the Hunter's build. And this is actually the first Hunter so far during this recording, but I believe also for the badges she also had the first badge for Queen Bee. First chase is going to be the lucky guy. As you can see, the Hunter is going to be utilizing the bees to first charge up her energy as the lucky guy keeps looping this area since he does have enough distance. The bees still... Okay, the Hunter's going to go the other way towards the stairs so that he can't loop this area again, forcing him to be in this corner. He only has 1 pallet here to work with. Okay, does a very good job here, dodging both stingers. Has utilized his perfume, will be going back towards that corner. Hunter just continuously recharging her energy. Misses another stun, another chip damage. Misses another chip, finally lands 1 chip damage onto the survivor. Still lots of mind games, gets a normal hit, 75% damage. Now the Hunter's at attack recovery, so he's going to ride the roller coaster. Hunter, however, has warp, and she's going to be meeting him here at the second stop, terror shocking him off of that roller coaster, downing the first survivor. What is the standard time for a Queen Bee first kite? Not sure. The first one we saw was a 3 Cipher kite with the anti-Korean. Second one was a little slow. I think this one would be kind of average, because we can see 1 Cipher Machine's almost completed. 70-80 is what I feel like would be the average first kite for Queen Bee, but we'll have to see the other matches. We are gonna see the hunter notices the aeroplanist. We got the relocation of the chair, so that'll be easier to come in for this rescue. I wonder if they're a full team. We'll be able to get the hit onto the aeroplanist. Lucky guy getting rescued with Tide Turner. Hunter going straight back for this lucky guy. Recharging her energy, 70, so she can get 2 stingers here, but doesn't need to because lucky guy's trying to open up that chest box. Hasn't been able to get the item quite yet. Gets a stinger chip damage, and he'll fall, so still no item for the lucky guy. Hunter is going to be able to chair him here towards the working carousel. Okay. Patient is close by. Our planes can't go in for this rescue. The escapeologist is coming for this second rescue. Going to utilize the smoke screen. Hunter going out of her form, try to get a surprise stinger. Wasn't able to land. Will be taking the normal hit, and will be able to get the rescue onto the lucky guy. Last chair for the lucky guy, but with Tide Turner one more time. Last 2 cipher machines, both around 60%. Is able to get the chip damage onto the lucky guy. Gonna use another body block, so escapeologist eats a chip damage. He just needs to buy enough time. Escapeologist is gonna be going down here, which means the lucky guy cannot get hit, or else that'll be a double down situation. Flywheels, but the hunter gets the stinger with her teleport merge, and then coming out of the merge she gets an immediate stinger and was able to down the lucky guy immediately. Hunter's going to be changing to teleport and leaving the escapeologist on the ground. We'll be going for one of the last 2 cipher machines. Hunter's going to be breaking this pallet just so that he can't loop this area, and we'll be going for this aeroplanist. 4 cipher machine completed. Last cipher machine 86%. Has to use his has to utilize his jetpack to gain some distance, but not enough distance. We'll be able to down this aeroplanist for the first time. But he also did go down next to the last cipher machine, so the survivors need to... I mean, I guess the escapeologist can relocate his chair closer to... for when they're coming in for this rescue, but it's the first chair. 18%. Hunter's going to be heading towards inside as the chair has been relocated. Let's see, I can't... It's not showing... What? Okay, okay, we see one person's hiding nearby and feeding tinnitus while they're priming up that last cipher machine. 44% so far. Escapeologist is at half health, so he's going to be the one decoding, and patient is going to be coming in for this rescue. We can't see the persona. Oh, Hunter's going to go into her Hive cluster form just to quickly scout out this area. Still unable to find this patient, doing a very good job hiding away. And, oh, she still didn't spot him out. Oh, nice. Okay, you're going to utilize this hook to get straight to the chair. Takes the hit, gets the rescue. Last cipher machine, 88%. Airplane is rescued after half. Hunter's going to go straight for this airplanist so that she's going to be able to down this. Oh, she misses. Cipher machines popped. All survivors are back at full health, which isn't bad. I think that's a pretty good pop, because then it makes it harder to... Hunter's going to teleport to the last cipher machine. Instead, she's going to be running into the escapeologist. Escapeologist utilizing his last smoke screen. Hunter's going to be able to see right through it. Is able to down this aeroplanist. He was healed up, so he does still have self-heal. Hunter's going to be chairing the airplanist. Now she has to make it back towards the other side of the map. No one's at this exit gate quite yet. Now they've just started the exit gate. Hunter has quite a lot of energy, and she has left the swarm of insects on the other half of the map, which means she's going to end up... She's going to arrive at first stop, and she's in the Hive cluster, so she's even faster. Exit gate is not open. 87%. Well played. And now the patient was running towards this exit gate. Now he doesn't really have anywhere to go. I don't know if he can make this rescue. Hunter's going to be able to down this airplanist. He's dead on chair. Now she just needs to look for the patient. Okay, patient's almost across the map. Is she able to get the rescue? Teleport is up in 37 seconds, so he is able to get this rescue. Hunter's gonna go right back into her Hive cluster, and now she's moving very fast. That exit gate is only 16%, so that means the Hunter's gonna be able to arrive faster. And she sees the blood trails, checks the exit gate. We see Japan at Japan. We have one illusion to work with. A little bit of mind games, buying them a little more time, but Hunter still has detention and he's very vulnerable. He doesn't have any items, so we'll be going down. Survivor surrendering, and that's a 4-man elimination. Lakeside Village, 6th Queen Bee, heading towards Yik. that's her persona build. Yik is the escapologist, so that means, okay, escapologist and fire investigator both have tide turner. Is able to get the first hit onto the escapologist, but his misdirection eats that hit. It's gonna utilize his smoke screen hunter, which is very good against the... Oh, does the smoke screen block her insects? It does, right? I mean, the insects are black and the smoke screen, because of the item accessory, it's very hard to see. Okay, good dodge. Gets the hit, 75% damage, so he was able to dodge at least one stinger. Now she needs to recharge her ability. Okay, the bees do go through the smoke screen. Oh, how did she hit him? She just predicted him to be hiding behind this pallet, because that's how you surprise pallet stun the hunter. We'll be able to chair him here for the first time. No items left on this escapologist. May have to change his chair to go closer to the survivors, because this may be the only times he uses his item, because he might be the first eliminated survivor. Fire investigator going in for the rescue. He has tide turner, so that's going to be working for their benefit. Nice double dodge on the fire investigator. So you have to play quite a lot of mind games when the hunter's in front of you. We'll be able to get the normal hit, gets our rescue before half with tide turner. Hunter right back onto this escapologist. Charging up her energy, we'll be able to eat a hit here as the pallet there is gone. Going towards the exit gate. And while the hunter's just going to be waiting for the survivor to go down, she's charging up her energy and getting full presence as well. Oh, we have a survivor hiding behind. It's going to be battered coming in for the potential harass, or he might harass after the rescue, hiding behind this big rock. Hunter's looking for the survivors, trying to charge up her energy once again. But she does have 75%, well now 80, 70, so still 2 stingers are available, but now she's in the hive cluster form. Try to get, okay, got that one stun, wonderful push by the batter, gets that rescue before he expires, will be taking a hit as well. Lots of injuries racking up. We see 3 cipher machines completed, 4th cipher machine at 62, and the last cipher machine doesn't have much progress, only 2%. Hunter back on this escapologist with no tide turner. It looks like he's going to be going down pretty quickly. Is the batter going to stick around for the harass? It doesn't look like he's here. And the hunter is going to be able to send the first survivor back to the manor. This is a big map, so survivors do have to be a little more careful if the injuries are all too stacked up. Oh, okay, so they did meet up to heal up. Getting a hit onto the batter, back to 75%. Damage. We see a survivor trying to push that middle cipher machine, and now the hunter's going for this antiquarian. Okay, good patience. She waited behind. Nice mind games at this pallet, but now the hunter doesn't have a lot of distance away from the hunter, but that's fine because she's an antiquarian and she can just stun the hunter instead. Nice sidestep. Gets a pallet stun as well. Going around here, there's no pallet there. Not sure if she knows. But no damage onto the antiquarian hunter. She's going to be changing to teleport and going straight for that last cipher machine. She's going to be running into the batter who's at 75% damage. And while she was in the hive cluster, she gets an immediate stinger to be able to down him immediately. Very hard for him to predict. That's why you saw she waited a little, so that if they try to predict too early, she's going to wait till they move, and then she's going to get the chip damage onto the batter. First chair for the batter, but this is a bad area for survivors to rescue because the hunter can kind of sniff you out earlier on. Soar going all the way around the back, but it looks like the hunter does notice him, so now he's not going to be able to get that rescue on that batter. But let's see, last cipher machine is that big rock exit gate area, utilizing the airbag to bounce off so he can make it to the ramp, but the hunter cutting him off. But he's at full health, so he can still get this rescue. He just needs to buy enough time. 80%. Last cipher machine is getting primed up. He just needs to keep dodging the stingers. Cipher machine's almost primed. He needs to make his way up the boat now. Okay, nice dodge. Takes a normal hit. That's going to give him the attack recovery period, so now he's going to be able to get the rescue. Last cipher machine's primed, and they're just going to pop right away because fire investigator did not have borrowed time. That's why he was being very careful, not hesitant. But we'll be able to down this fire investigator batter waiting at the window on the second story of ship. Hunter's gonna be going towards the exit gate instead. Antiquarian is going to be pushed off of that exit gate. Still has a lot of stick left to work with. Like 2/3 of the stick left to work with. She's just charging up her energy while she's catching up to this Antiquarian. Oh, she tried to backstab, but triple stun onto the Antiquarian. She's gonna get the stinger. That's right. She's gonna recharge. She needs to be careful. She's recharged and she needs to dodge, but she wasn't able to dodge. Fire Investigator, however, has been healed. So he still does have self-heal. The batter's here. Everyone's here. This is not good. They should not all be here when the Antiquarian's down in front of them. She could also cheer them and like, what are they gonna do? But it's almost open, so it does look like the survivors want to push this exit gate. Seeing that nobody is leaving. Which in turn, then now the Hunter has to share this Antiquarian, because if she heals and then she opens up that exit gate, that's going to be quite troublesome. If the Hunter goes for the batter, the Fire Investigator is going to get that backdoor rescue. So now the Hunter is just charging her energy with the batter but staying near the chair. Suddenly changing targets to the Fire Investigator is able to down him with the chip damage. Now they have to be careful. They get the rescue and gets the stun as well. The batter pushes him back, and that's going to allow them to get that 2-man escape. Very well played on the survivor side. This is the 9th Hunter. Just checking for the quality. Hunter already sees the blood trails of the first chase. Looks like it's going to be the first officer. Has to utilize his pocket watch as the Hunter's closing the distance, and he just wants to buy a little more time earlier on and possibly discourage the Hunter from going after him continuously, but it does look like the Hunter's just going to get some distance to nullify the pocket watch effects. No damage so far, but will be eating a damage here as it's quite obvious he's running towards the pallet, so the Hunter's going to predict that, throw the stinger there. He's going to be looping this area. Basement's here, so he has to be a little careful here. Oh, we got the support from the Archer. Archer also did get the nerf. Is going to be able to eat a hit. Question is she going to change targets? I think, yeah, she's going to change targets because first officer still has a pocket watch, but Archer just utilized, so she has 2 bows and 1 back bow left. Oh, gets a long distance bow as well. Hunter's going to be able to snipe her here. Gets another chip damage, 75% injury. Catching up by utilizing her Reciprocate. Oh, we got the excitement coming here for the pallet stun. We'll be able to down the survivor for the first time. 1 cipher machine's completed, but the Hunter did change targets in between. I'm just going to be cheering near the etymologist cipher machine. She's not quite finished, around 82%, so it doesn't look like she's going to be able to finish it. Might need to force a rescue here. And now that she's close, if the Hunter can just get an injury onto her, she's going to force a very early rescue. So that kind of works out in the favor of the Queen Bee. It was a tie turner rescue before half. Hunter's trying to get more energy here. Is able to get the pallets done, so avoids getting hit. Hunter's going to go back to downing this Archer since she sat on the chair at least once. She's going to utilize the Reciprocate so she can teleport to her swarm and get closer to this Archer. Archer's going to be transitioning inside of the ship. Hunter's just continuously predicting where she is. Gets the stun, not the stun, the laceration. It's building up. Hunter's just going to utilize this time to catch up to the survivor and make sure she knows where she's going. Get that immediate vault. Hunter is going to be waiting for her on the first floor. Will be able to make it to this pallet, but needs to be careful not to get the stun. Oh, avoids the stun. Not the stun, the stinger. The chip damage, and will be able to down her here for the second time. Full presence Hunter, since she was able to get a few hits onto the first officer and then the meteorologist, and is able to down this Archer. We have wounded order on the Enchantress, and it looks like first officer's coming in for the rescue. With the chip damage, though, he does get the delayed damage when he utilizes that pocket watch. Hunter's going to utilize the swarm to get, and also gets a hit onto the Enchantress. Fails the mind games here. She's trying to push 2 of the last cipher machines. Is able to avoid the hit. Gets another stun from the Enchantress, so she doesn't get... Okay, good mind games. Was able to throw down that pallet in time, but the swarm is still nearby. She gets the chip damage onto the Enchantress. They did get a free rescue, but the rescue was with tie turner, so it's not too much of a disadvantage for the Hunter since it would take some time. Archer unfortunately does have wanted order, but it looks like the Hunter is going to stick around here since it is one of the last cipher machines. Misses her chip damage, so He needs to get this rescue before his pocket watch runs out, because then he has to also avoid a stinger and a normal hit. So mind games here. They have to go for this double rescue. Is able to successfully get this rescue, but the excitement comes in just in time. Archer does not have any items left to utilize, so she's going to be able to chair this Enchantress for the second time. Archer and Enchantress both at their last chair, with the last Cipher Machine here at 78, but is able to chair this Enchantress here. Injuries are stacking up. Hunter, she sees the Meteorologist trying to heal up. She tries to stop the heal, but the heal does go through, so now the Meteorologist can't come in for this rescue. Hunter now trying to shoo away this first officer. Last Cyber Machine still not ready though. Okay, avoids the chip, avoids the second chip, gets the chip damage onto the first officer, trying to body block, is not able to body block, will be able to down the Enchantress and the first officer. Looks like the first officer went down with the chip damage. They're going to force this rescue, force this heal, but the last Cipher Machine is just not ready, so now she's going to be able to chair the Enchantress, and she can chair the first officer as well, sending the first survivor back to the manor. Last Cipher Machine 80%, Hunter able to pick up this survivor. Not much the Meteorologist can do. She's at 75% damage, but it looks like the Hunter, okay, just being very careful here not to get pushed too far away from the chair. Not able to struggle free. Needs to get the hit immediately. Is going to be able to push the Hunter and will be able to get the rescue, but if he gets the survivors down here, Cipher Machines are primed and ready. Endgame situation. Hunter does have detention, is going straight for this first officer. He needs to buy enough time, but immediate hit with that stinger as she's transforming and merging. As she merged with her swarm, she utilized stinger immediately, so no delay, was able to down this first officer. But second chair, and he was rescued before half, so still can buy a little more time. Hunter now looking for the next survivor. We can see the Archer at the corner. Will the Hunter get closer? She gets tinnitus, so she knows there's a survivor here. That means she's going to be able to find this Archer. Where is Meteorologist? Meteorologist is going for that backdoor rescue. Hunter now letting the Archer go just in case. She's gonna teleport to Cornfield, but there's no one on Cornfield. She doesn't have enough energy to teleport back to her swarm, and that's gonna allow the survivors to get that backdoor rescue. And now she's gonna go towards the exit gate that's being opened up, and that's a 3-man escape for the side of the survivors. So a little bit of miscalculation on the Queen Bee here. Same Hunter. This time we're going to be playing on Chinatown. Sending her swarm to see if there's someone nearby. Does look like she does find the antiquarian. She's going to utilize her flute to get distance away from this Hunter. Hunter's just going to utilize the swarm. Does she get the chip damage? Yes, she does get the chip damage. And another chip damage, but she misses Hunter. Oh, they both miss. And the Hunter's just going to get a normal hit here, as the antiquarian doesn't really have anything to work with. Is going to be utilizing the flute for faster movement speed. We're going to be playing a little bit of mind games at this window, but the swarm's already there. She doesn't want to risk it, so she's going to go straight towards the outside walls. Avoids the chip damage. Throws down this pallet, but the Hunter's on the same side. That's okay. Oh, excitement gets used and will be able to down this Enchantress. I would say it's a pretty good down. Oh, we have someone already going to the basement, anticipating the Hunter's going to be bringing the Enchantress to the basement. So that's going to work. She should hide behind the wall just to be safe though. Oh, she spots her out. She should have hide all the way in the corner walls. No, she does not spot her out. And she also had one in order, but Archer... Let's see, Archer is outside, so she doesn't know there's someone there hiding in the basement. And that's the, let's see, it's the Mind's Eye. The Mind's Eye also has Tide Turner. What is this build? Hunter also has tinnitus, so she can't really leave this area. Oh. Escapologist, he's utilizing the smoke screen to try to bait the Hunter to thinking he's going in for this rescue. Avoids the chip damage. We can see the Mind's Eye is just prolonging the chair for as long as possible. Hunter doesn't know what's happening. Gets the pallet stun to the survivor. He's going to go further away, but tinnitus is still being triggered because the Hunter's frame rate's a little low there. But she can't leave this area. She's going to get the rescue right before half, so that's just going to allow free decoding for Archer. Hunter just keeps getting more energy, trying to get a chip damage, is able to get the chip damage, gets a rescue. Hunter going back towards the basement. She's going to be dropped down, does not get the hit, and the Antiquarian is able to get out of the basement safely. No chip damage, will be able to get the chip damage and the hit onto the Antiquarian. Mind's Eye safely escaping the basement. Hunter unable to notice where the survivor was the entire time, will be going and dying further away, so she won't be getting the second basement chair. That's going to allow the survivors to get that 3 ciphers completed, but the only, I would say, only back, I mean, I think it's fine. 3 cipher machines popped, second chair. Mind's Eye gets 1 in order. And it looks like, oh, they're trying to do another backdoor rescue. But the Hunter does spot her out, so they are going to, for now, abandon it. But we got the smoke screen and the double rescue. Hunter is trying to charge up, does get the chip damage, or the normal hit. Is able to get the hit onto somebody. She got full presence from that. Will be able to get the laceration effects. Hunter's gonna be, stunned by the Antiquarian, is able to get the chip damage and hit her instead while she's disarmed, so we'll be able to send the first survivor back to the manor. 4 cipher machines completed. She's gonna be charging up her energy for later as she is able to chair this attempt Antiquarian. Mind's Eye has 1 in order, so now the Hunter knows where that Mind's Eye is. She's going to go back into her swarm, merge it so that she can catch up to the survivors going across the map. We'll be running into the Mind's Eye, trying to make her way back down the basement. You need to make your way back up now. We don't want to go down there. Mind Games is able to get the normal hit onto the Mind's Eye. Last cipher machine needs to be worked on. Damage is starting to pile on onto the side of the survivors. Okay, chip damage. 1 more chip damage. Has enough energy. Just gonna get the hit, normal hit, and we'll be able to chair this Mind's Eye for the first time. Archer, the only survivor that can go rescue, but now the escapologist can rescue as well because she just got healed. And the escapologist also does have a perfumer since he utilized both of his smoke screens. Hunter getting tinnitus. Sending the swarm towards that last cipher machine. She's going to be teleporting to her swarm. We'll be going after this escapologist. We'll be able to get this hit, but we got the perfume coming in just in time to negate that. Archer going in for that backdoor rescue. Hunter gets a normal hit onto the escapologist. 75% damage. Is able to get the rescue off to the Mind's Eye backdoor rescue. Hunter now going back towards the Mind's Eye, trying to chair her for the second time. She sees the blood trails. She sees the Archer, the only full health survivor. Is she going to get some injury onto this Archer before going after the survivors? Oh, she flywheels that chip damage. It's going inside the pagoda. The lion pagoda is able to get the laceration. Still has 2 items left to work with. Hunter now going back looking for the Mind's Eye. Gonna go back into her swarm, heading towards the escapologist, trying to stop that last cipher machine. But oh, wonderful snipe. He also had the perfume but wasn't able to utilize it because he was at 75% injury. We'll be able to chair this escapologist for the first time. Is he going to utilize his... No, he's not going to utilize his ability. He's just going to stay there. 1 survivor at the cipher machine. The other survivor going in for another backdoor rescue. Hunter's going to be going after the Archer, who's at full health. So hopefully she'll be able to buy some time, but we'll be able to get that chip damage while making that vault. Hunter's going to be changing to teleport and teleporting to the chair, trying to stop that rescue from happening by the... And it's also the Mind's Eye, so she can't actually get this rescue. But Hunter has tinnitus. She's looking for the survivor. She's going in for the rescue. She doesn't have enough distance. Hunter is not going to be able to get this hit, but okay, avoids the chip damage. So doing a very good job playing mind games here at this pallet, but she cannot get this rescue. She just needs the kite. And also she can't die because the last cipher machine's not quite ready. But oh, she's buying so much time, and that's gonna allow the last cipher machine 89% is able to finally get this down. She was gonna go down eventually. There's only so much you can do at this foot pallet. Oh, and they don't pop. They just popped the cipher machine, but the Hunter picks her up just in time. We'll be able to chair this Mind's Eye. Teleport up in 48 seconds. She's waiting at the dungeon. Hunter's gonna be teleporting to her swarm. She knows where she is. And now the archer is going to be taking this kite. It's looking like a 4-man elimination. And that is all for this video.